So, you've received the dreaded email notifying that your research manuscript has been rejected. What next? Hi, this is Dr. Jia, and today I'm going to talk about the different types of manuscript rejection, what the next steps are, and how to deal with the negative emotions that come with it. There are two types of rejections. First, it is called the desk rejection. Another one is rejection after peer review. A desk rejection is where the journal editors have screened through your title, abstract, and cover letter and reject it right off the bat and not send it out for review. This decision comes pretty quickly. For some journals, 24 hours, and for some, up to 2 weeks. When you get a desk rejection, usually there is no point arguing with the editor. So I would say just move on and find a new home for your article. I will have a separate video on the top reasons why research papers get desk rejection. Next is rejection after peer review. You have passed through the screening test and now your paper has been sent out for review, where the reviewers are going to read through your paper carefully and give you suggestions on how to make your paper better. So when you get the rejection at this level, what do you do next? There are some authors who would take the original manuscript and send it out to a new journal without revising it. I personally do not recommend that. Why? It is because you should never waste an opportunity to improve your paper, especially when there are constructive criticism. If you are in a very narrow field, the pool of reviewers may be small and you may even get back the same reviewer again. So they will not be very happy if you ignore their comments. Now, what do you do next? Take your time to read through the comments to see what you can fix or what you can address. There are sometimes though, you may find mean or venomous comments. When you see that, it reflects on the character of the reviewer, not you. So what I recommend is you could take a Sharpie and cross that out so that you can't see it. Or another trick I would do is to pull out only the constructive feedback into a separate Word document and work off of that. In terms of addressing the comments, there are usually two types of reviewer comments. First is the technical or the science part, where the reviewers may suggest doing additional analysis or maybe changing the study design. For this, take your time and discuss with your collaborators to decide what you want to address. And then the next type of comments are typically related to the writing. It could be grammar, it could be the messaging. If you find that the reviewers have misunderstood the intention of your research, it is usually because you have not framed the story well enough. If that's the case, edit your paper with the focus towards clarifying your message. Think about this. If your reviewer has spent hours looking through your paper and still misunderstand you, the readers of the paper will most likely misunderstand you. If you like this video so far, give it a thumbs up. Next, I'm going to talk about how to handle the negative emotions. First of all, I want to acknowledge that it really hurts to get your paper rejected. You may even feel ashamed because your work has been seen by others and other people found it lacking. So allow yourself a day or so to process your feeling. The second thing is, manuscript rejection in research and science is a very common process. All the famous professors have all gone through rejection. My papers have usually gone through a desk rejection or a major revision before getting accepted. So you're not alone. One more thing is, if you have never received a manuscript rejection, it is possible that you are not aiming high enough. You could be only submitting your papers into journals that are lower impact, or you're only choosing the safe choices. So here are some of my tips on handling rejection. For the first tip, I do it even before I submit my paper. I would discuss with my co-authors on the top 3 journals we are targeting. And usually the top of my list is one journal that is usually slightly out of reach and slightly higher impact. And then in the second and third down the list are usually the ones I'm more confident in. The second tip is something I use when I am getting ready to read the reviewers' comments. I learned this from a friend who is a successful researcher. Even before opening the email, she would psych herself up and practice gratitude towards her reviewers. Instead of taking time to spend with your family, they are taking hours to read through my paper, thinking of ways to help improve my manuscript. This is such a powerful reframe. The third tip is celebrate your wins. Celebrate all the different milestones throughout the process. Celebrate the first time you submit your paper, because that means that you have completed the project and written the manuscript and navigated through the complex submission site. If your paper has been sent out for review, celebrate that as well. If you receive an email saying that your paper requires major revision, that is a major win because it means that The journal editors and the reviewers have found your paper good enough to even consider changing it. And that means you are even closer to publication. Now that you have a shift in mindset about rejection, watch the next video on the top reasons why your paper may get a desk rejection. I will also talk about what you can do to increase your chance of getting through to peer review. I will see you there.